For today, though, I wanted to start work on the shipyard. Ahoy, salty dogs! I'm Lenscap, and today we are playing on the Star Squadron server. Welcome to the server, my friends. This is episode... Oh, did I leave this running? This is episode number 3 of Season 2 of the... Or Year 2, I guess, is what we're calling it, of the Star Squadron server. How long... let's take some bets. How long do you guys think it'll take before I stop saying the Year 2 part? Because I don't know. I'll probably forget. So I've done a little bit of work on the Salty Shipyard. You guys got a glimpse. We'll look at that in a second. But right now I wanted to start producing some... What are they called? The shipyard modules. That's right. Shipyard modules. Go. Activate. We'll make 100 at a time, and we've got a bunch of resources, so I'm not worried about wasting some stuff. We're going to need a lot of these puppies anyway. So let's look at what we did. So first of all, thank you guys so much for, actually I want to grab one more thing. Thank you guys so much for all the great feedback on the last episode. People really seemed to like it, and I did as well, so that's awesome. Let's take a look at the Salty Shipyard and kind of what's going on. I'm glad to hear a lot of you guys have said that you're very excited for this season, that you're super stoked about the technical kind of path that we're going to take, and I think we've got some cool stuff in store. So let's start with the basics. I kind of framed out how large I want the station to be. So I did this is 51-ish blocks long, something like that. And then I think it's 50 tall and 75 wide, which it may end up being wider than that. But I kind of took the Lancer and was like, that's about the scale I like to build. Maybe we'll go a little bit bigger than that, but I think that's where we want to start at the very least, is about that scale. So that's where we should start our kind of shipyard. And then I decided that it would be cool to have an area over here, which is what I've been working on. An area over here that is specifically designed for churning out these cargo containers. Now, JaceMachine left a comment for me on the last episode reminding me or letting me know that, unfortunately, letting me know that he designed something very similar in his kind of brain and thoughts. That would be a cool idea. But he told me also that the cargo blocks are unfortunately invisible through this glass, so we won't actually be able to use this as a gauge for how full the cargo container is. Maybe they'll fix that. Maybe it's a bug and they'll patch it. That's what I'm hoping for. So I built this shipyard right here. This is just a smaller shipyard. It is just barely bigger than the cargo containers. The thought is I can build the cargo containers here, immediately dock them to this rail, and they'll get passed along into kind of a storage area here. I have this measured out so that it can hold 12, 3, 6, 9... 12, yeah. So that it can hold 12 storage pods. Somebody wanted me to call them pods instead of containers, which that sounds reasonable. They're definitely more like storage pods or like holding tanks or something. But it'll hold 12 pods. And I haven't done the logic for it yet, but that's going to be our next step. I don't think we're going to do logic today, but we are going to do logic pretty soon. The idea is you get 3 on each tier, and then so like this block, the way I'm gonna set this up once I get the logicking, this rail will detect if something's docked on it. If it is, it will flip this one so that the next one stops here. This one will detect if something's docked on it, and if so, it'll flip this one so that the next one stops here. So you get 3 in a row. Once this one has something docked on it, it will switch this rail and this rail, and this one, so that the next one fills up this line, and et cetera, until we have 12. The next step will be to pull the rails to this spot. So I figured we'll load our ship from this spot where the first container goes. So the first thing we'll do is check these 3. If there's nothing in these 3, like let's say we have already loaded our first 3, then if this one, so it'll be an if, or like an or kind of. We'll have to do the logic when we figure out logic. But if there's nothing here and there's nothing here, then use this one, kind of. Send this one over here, so it'll take it. And then these will move forward, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of how we're going to load it and on down the line until we've used them all. I feel like probably that's a little bit over-engineered. I honestly think that we will only end up using like maybe 2 or 3 of these until we build our hauling ship, and that one might use 4. But 12 containers is ridiculous. We'll never need 12 containers. But I'd rather have them and not need them than, you know how it works. This platform here I have as kind of a platform. It's just a platform. It's a base. A base to store things and to set stuff on. I think what we're going to do is probably put cargo here and stack it up as we develop a factory, which we're going to do a factory like an automated factory setup pretty soon. I definitely need that. I'm so tired of using these 4 little factories here and having to make something, sit and wait for the paint, then make gray hull, which I have tons of gray hull, but make gray hull and then turn it into yellow hull, and then, okay, now I've got hull, now I need to make wedges. Like, it just takes forever, so I'm really excited to build a factory thing soon. But we're not going to do that today. Today we're touring, we're checking out the work I've done. So this is our shipyard. As you can see, it's not actually a fully functional shipyard yet. Right here is where I planned on putting the core block, or maybe one back, depending on how this is going to fit. I haven't really docked it and tested it yet, but I wanted to get the arms of the shipyard first. I figured put the biggest part in place before we decide where the controller block is going to go. Oh, look, I missed some wedges there. And there. We'll have to fix that. Put the arms in place, design where that's going to go and how it looks, and then we'll decide later where the controller is going to go. And the controller is going to go in this building. I put this little building here as kind of an office observation deck kind of thing. Right now there's no way into it because I haven't decided where the door is going to be yet. But we'll just cut our own little door. It's a very sparse building. There's not much in here. It's basically just glass, big window. The idea was the controller for the shipyard lives right here. Right here. And from here you can see the whole shipyard, which was important. That's why I picked this spot for the controller for that. That's why this window is so big here. But you can also see the storage container, so you can see how many there are of that. And you can walk over here and you'll be able to see the rest of the shipyard from this building as well. So I think that's pretty cool. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to snake all of the tunnels and things through the shipyard for like how to get from various places from one part of the station to another. I feel like it's going to be really like organic and just kind of go where it fits. You know, I was thinking of how am I going to dock this into my salvager, which I have an idea for a salvager, which we need to build the shipyard so we can build the salvager. Like, we're still several episodes away from that. But it'll probably dock up here, like on top of this kind of platform area. Maybe we'll build a docking plate for it right here. And then we need a way to get from the salvager down into the station. So there'll be a tunnel that comes off this way, comes down, snakes over this way, just, you know, wherever it can find room. So we're going to do a factory setup pretty soon. I think that's going to be next episode. This episode is going to be more about building the shipyards, or at least getting them in place for where they want them. I don't know where I'm going to put the controller for the large shipyard yet, but we are going to build a large shipyard today. Kind of an N shape here. We may start decorating it, we may not. I'll probably stick with the same kind of theme in decorating the shipyard. I like the yellow accents behind the gray, kind of ribbing or shielding kind of stuff. I don't know what you would call it, but it's going to be like a rib cage kind of that surrounds the shipyard. I don't know if I'm going to surround the entire shipyard with ribbing. That's why I just left it where it is. But I might. I might extend this further out to cover up these areas. I might put some things here. I got to find a place for that battery. So I figured the way that the shipyard is going to kind of going to come together is there will be docking on the top of it for ships, and then the kind of area underneath is workable space, right? So the shipyard, of course, needs to be clear unless we're building a ship, but the floor, the kind of area under, is going to be stuff like this, and this, where we have platforms that hold our cargo, or power generation, factory enhancers, this battery kind of thing. And maybe we'll hide this in some structure or something. I haven't decided yet. Who knows? I don't have any idea yet. I'm thinking that we'll reserve some of this space, maybe not the whole way down, but maybe to about here for buildings and modules and stuff, and circuitry, logic, that kind of stuff. I'm thinking once we get the factory setup going, we'll put that in a long, thin building here, maybe about as big as this one is, or as big as this one is wide, but, the full building, and maybe twice as long, or maybe even 3 times as long. But that's going to be like our factory building, and we'll have a booth we'll have like a paint booth where we focus on just paints. We'll have like a hull generator where we do just hull. We'll have general factories. We'll get to that later. For today, though, I wanted to start work on the shipyards and the larger portion of the shipyards. So we started the shipyard construction, or rather the factory with shipyards in it at the start of the video, and it looks like I'm out of Centier, so we might have to go do a little bit of mining. How many do we get? Oh man, if I had one more, I'd have an elite amount. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need more than 1,300 of these, but we'll start with what we've got and kind of place these. Let's see what we come up with. Fantastic. So here's our shipyard. This is going to be the size of it. I managed to make it, I think if I did my math right, this is 112 blocks long. I didn't count actually, but it's there's 7 kind of sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there are only 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there are 15 blocks in between each. So 6 times 15 is 90 plus 7. So it's 97 blocks long, which is decent. I mean, we're not trying to make the most gigantic ship in the world in this thing. We're just trying to make something about the size of the Lancer. Maybe it seems like for this shipyard, it's more wide than it is long or tall, so that's fine. I think this will work perfectly fine for my purposes. The next thing we got to do is clear out this mess, though. There's all these reactors and stuff right here, and they are mucking up the place. How are we going to build a ship when there's stuff in the way? So that's definitely not going to work. I got to find a way to make power generation work. Right now we've got this one long line of power, and that's the only reactors, or those I should say are the only reactors that I have, which is fine. I guess I could leave that, but I kind of don't want it there. I've just had it there temporarily as I marked out my area. I'm thinking about maybe running the reactors along the sides of these. I feel like that would work for us pretty well. In fact, let's do that. Let's grab some reactor modules, and let's work on this together a little bit. Oh, geez, where was the middle? Can I undo? Yep, there's the middle. Perfect. So we can set our plane here. That way we don't have to do quite as much. Let's make this is the axis I want. Yeah, we're going to make this about 25 long. And for some crazy reason, guys, and I don't know why this is and why they haven't changed this yet, but our build limit on this server is like 400 blocks. It's ridiculously long, which is cool, I guess, if you're building giant stuff, but I feel like that's game-breakingly long. Like, that is potentially problematic. Maybe I should address that next time we all hang out a little bit, because that's just wild. Okay, I missed the middle, but that's okay. We're just kind of eyeballing it here. So I'm thinking about doing this with my power generation. I'm not sure what to do with the battery yet. Obviously, you know, you want one battery instead of a multitude of batteries. It's for, you know, for optimized battery usage or power storage, I guess. Whatever the whatever. I mean, I don't need to be optimal. I just want it to work. So we might just have several small batteries. Although I feel like one big battery is fine, and I already have so much power out of that one battery. Like I'm already at 1 million power, and so. But I feel like I could string it out somewhere and make it work for us. But anyway, I'm gonna lay down some of this power, and then decide what we want to do about the battery, and I'll be right back. Alright, and there. So there we go. We came up with 717,000 power generation out of that. I think that's fine. That's probably enough. We only per second, right? And we only have 1 million power anyway total, so we're solid for sure. The next thing we might think about is what are we going to do with the reactor block? And I did remove that whole line of power from there. I'm going to leave this skeleton thing here for now. It was, as it kind of measures out how big I want the station. Although, it doesn't really matter. I could get rid of it at any time. But I'm going to leave it for now, just in case I decide later on that I need it. I'll leave that block too. That's the center of my shipyard if I need that as well. What do we do next? Let's try and move this. This is, if I remember right, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 9 by 9 by 9. 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I want to remove the whole thing. Not like that. Let's turn on remove mode because I'm not sure where I need to click. That one. Okay, so now we're going to have power issue messages popping up, but only temporarily. So we have 729 batteries, capacitators. Are they still called capacitors? No, now they are power capacitors. Okay. They used to be called capacitors, I think. Or maybe that was something else. Anyway, we want to make this... Let's see, how long did we figure this was before? 97? Is that right? Yeah. So let's make this, first of all, let's make this 97 blocks long. And then we should be able to get... let's just do this. Let's do one down the middle. And I figure we'll just set it on top of this. Okay, that'll work. Just like this. Until we run out of blocks. 50 more of them. That gives us almost 100,000, or almost 1 million power. And if we... Oh yeah, okay, it was 97. Ah, good call. Good us. Way to math. Good job, Lenscap. If we throw these on, does that give us 1 million? It does. So that's all we're after. That's plenty. I think that'll be enough power for us. And then that's going to look kind of cool from underneath too. Although, I don't know. I might pick it up and move it somewhere else. We might move it up one so we can encase it in something. We might build a room for power generation. We're going to have some space here to fill. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. For now, this is fine. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you like the progress on the Salty Shipyard. Next episode, we're going to work on getting those factories out of the way and building a kind of building to keep those things in. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like. Let me know what you think about the Salty Shipyard, the shipyard so far. If you like the detailing I've put on this part. I'm probably going to use that throughout with the scaffolding and stuff. I may put a little bit more color somewhere. I'm not sure. There's not really a lot of color right now. But we might throw some more color. We're definitely going to cover that in yellow so that it kind of feels like a shipyard. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Stay tuned.